This is a summary of electrical engineering as an engineering discipline. Electrical engineering, as you can imagine, is concerned with engineering using electricity and magnetism. Well, electricity and magnetism are always connected to each other. That's why magnetism is involved here. And electricity and magnetism together, so electricity in certain patterns produces magnetism. Magnetism in certain patterns produces electricity. Together they form an electromagnetic wave, and that's what all radio waves are. That's what all light is. And so electrical engineering ends up being a very broad discipline that relates to a lot of things you might not instantly, immediately think of as electricity. The core sub-areas for electrical engineering are computer engineering, which at many universities is its own department. Second, systems engineering. So that involves the engineering of very complicated systems, which you can think of as like computer networks is one example of a complicated system. Third is power engineering. And so what we that's too many earrings, engineering. Okay. What we think of as electricity, we can largely divide up into electricity that's used to send information, and that's what we call electronics, and electrical power that we use for various things. And so power engineering involves the transmission of electric power. 4, telecommunications. 5 is radio frequency engineering. 6 and so I mentioned just a second ago that electricity and magnetism together, when you have an electromagnetic wave, is what radio signals are. And so through electricity and magnetism, you can engineer radio signals. 6th is signal processing. So whatever type of signal it is that you're receiving, a radio signal or whatever kind of signal, there's always information coming in with it that you don't want, just random noise that comes in with your signal. And in order to interpret that signal, you have to be able to process out some of this erroneous signal that you're receiving, and that's what signal processing is about. 7 is instrumentation, so that just has to do with different types of electrical instruments. 8th is photovoltaic cells. Photovoltaic cells. And these are cells that convert light into energy, usually light from the sun, and so we can get energy, like solar panels and things like that. This is one area where I know a lot of students have an interest in green energy, and this is one place where electrical engineering can be used to the benefit of green technologies. Ninth is electronics. So unlike electric power, electronics is using electricity for signals. And 10th and last is optics and photonics. Okay, well, how does optics relate to electrical engineering? Well, like I said, all radio waves are electromagnetic waves, and light is a form of electromagnetic wave. And so the transmission of light is really a transmission of electromagnetic waves. Like with all disciplines, there can be minor variations in the curriculum that you have to take at various universities, but usually they're pretty similar. And this is a pretty good guess at what you'll have to take in whatever university you go to if you study electrical engineering. First, the math that you have to take is all the calculus. You'll have to take some differential equations. And some statistics. For science classes, you'll have to take 2 semesters of physics. Well, in fact, probably in most electrical engineering departments, you'll have to take another semester of physics, which is modern physics, where you study quantum mechanics and relativity. And you'll also have to take some chemistry. So in mechanical engineering, quantum mechanics doesn't come into things very often, but in electrical engineering, everything is happening in kind of the quantum realm if you look at it closely enough. And so quantum mechanics is a really big part of electrical engineering. And in fact, you really can't understand any kind of solid state electronics without understanding quantum mechanics. Third, you'll have to take quantum mechanics. I just said that. You'll have to take computer science, a programming class. And then, let's say 4, and so on. You'll have to take classes in the sub areas that I listed above. And so, you could take a class in power engineering, a class in instrumentation. As far as information about the profession itself, in 2023, the median salary for all engineers, so the salary where half of the working engineers are above it and half of the working engineers are below it in the US, is about $102,000. For electrical engineering, of course, it's sort of in that ballpark, but it's a little higher than the median at $109,010. In 2023, the number of U.S. jobs in electrical engineering was 287,800. So almost exactly the same as the number of mechanical engineering jobs, just a shade less than the total number of civil engineering jobs if you lump all the sub areas of civil engineering together. And the future outlook for electrical engineering jobs is 9% growth, which is much higher than the average over all industries. And then the work environment, which I think is always something to consider. Like mechanical engineering, most people who work as electrical engineers are going to be working in offices.